Hi dear viewers, welcome to the 16th episode of BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World. I would request you all to please like and share our Facebook page, also like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel. I'm Gauri here, and with us today we have a very skillful and charming doctor, Dr. Reema Sharmadar. She has 14 years of work experience and has been in Bahrain for more than 6 years. Now she's currently working at Al Hilal Multi-Speciality Medical Center, Rifa.
Thank you, Gauri, for such a warm welcome, and a very good day to all the viewers who are listening to and watching this program.
Thank you, doctor, for being here on our show. So, doctor, most of the children, their teeth, it's very important. We all know that. But then why is it very important? Because anyways, after a certain age, their teeth will fall off and a new one is eventually going to erupt. So why is taking care of their teeth very important?
See, having a healthy set of milk teeth, or deciduous teeth as we call them, is very important because they form a basis of the child's permanent teeth. Having a healthy mouth makes it easier for child to eat all kinds of food. If your teeth are carious, if you're not able to eat certain types of food, then it affects your nutrition requirements. Children start avoiding certain food. Also, then it eventually affects the jaw growth of the child. Also, there's a problem, when the front teeth have cavities or the front teeth are broken down or they're missing. The child, when they're developing a proper speech pattern, like in all our Indic languages, all the Indian languages, be it Hindi or be it Malayalam, having a front set of teeth is very, very important for learning to pronounce certain words, certain sounds correctly. Also, for, currently in the world that we are living in, having a good smile makes a child more confident. If the teeth are brown or have spots on them, the child become a little shy, and they are not as forthcoming in coming in poetry recitation or to say any program in the school and all. They'll be a little hesitant to come forward and all that. So for overall the general health, having a healthy set of teeth is very important, and it is a misconception that the teeth fall off by 6-7 years of age. It's only the front teeth which are exchanged at around 6 to 7 years of age. The back teeth, or the teeth with which the child is biting, they remain in the mouth till the time the child is around 9 to 11 years of age. So it is important to keep the teeth healthy.
Yes, doctor. So what are the common diseases or the problems that parents come in with their child?
See, the most common problem with the parents come in is definitely that the child is having pain. So that happens is when the cavity in the tooth has become very deep, and sometimes they will come with an infection. Sometimes we have parents who come in with a child where there is a swelling on the face, there is a swelling in the gums. They will complain that again after every few days a small boil will appear on the gums, and then it will automatically go away, and then it comes back again in a few days. Another problem which is very common with toddlers, or between the age of around 2 to 4, when the child is learning how to walk, learning how to run, that is the time when trauma or injury to the front teeth is very common. The child has fallen down and part of the tooth is either broken off or the tooth itself has come out. Then sometimes children come in with a complaint is at around 5 years or 6 years of age. Parents often have this complaint that they see a double tooth in the mouth. So at different age groups there are these common complaints which are there.
Yeah, so what are the treatments that are offered?
The treatments as a periodontist that we offer is the most important is to first is caries treatment. Caries treatment is two parts of caries treatment. One is the preventive aspect of caries, that we prevent more caries from happening, and one is the treatment aspect of caries. The treatment aspect is if the cavity is small, we go about doing different types of fillings. If the cavity is the infection has already reached the pulp or there is a swelling, then we go about doing pulp treatment, pulpotomy, pulpectomy. Sometimes for children, like when the permanent molars come out at the age of 6, we also need to do root canal treatment for the children. Apart from that, if by some chance the child has lost a tooth early, then we do give them small clips in the mouth which will preserve the space for the child. The preventive aspect of treatment is we have fluoride therapies are available, we have Pitt and Fisher varnishes which are available, which are done, and then if we see that the child is developing a little bit of malocclusion, by malocclusion we means that the teeth are not coming in the correct fashion, then we give certain appliances to correct that.
Okay, so what would happen if these are left untreated, like the cavities?
See, the most common sequelae, or what happens if the cavities are left untreated, is gradually the tooth structure starts breaking down.
Okay.
This, in some cases, the children will not have any problem, they will not complain of pain, but in most cases, the child will complain of pain. They may have swelling, they may have, sometimes the whole entire face or part of the face swells up. That is one part. Then the other part is when the tooth structure is completely broken down, the child has difficulty in eating. I have patients who are 6 years, 7 years of age, and all the back teeth are completely decayed, and the parents complain that he is not eating anything solid. He still prefers food to be mashed, and then the answer is that how will the child eat if the teeth have to be present in a good condition for him to eat? Apart from that, then for children who frequently keep getting infections and all, even the permanent teeth can show some effects. Sometimes when the permanent teeth will come, they may have certain spots, or they are not formed properly.
Okay.
Again, in cases of malocclusion, if they are not treated, it will affect the overall jaw growth of the child.
Oh.
So it is better, any problem, the earlier it is identified, the earlier it is treated. Overall, it is better. It is better for the overall health of the child.
Okay, so what is the right age for a child to come in for checkup?
See, what we advise is the first visit of the child should be around the time when the first tooth is erupting. So,
Okay.
or at least before the first birthday of the child.
Oh.
So that is when we identify whether the teeth are coming correctly or not, if the child is having any problem. That is also the time when we can advise the parent about weaning. Weaning is when the child has to move from a liquid milk-based diet to a more semi-solid based diet. So that is the time when it happens. The second visit is important at around 3 years of age. That is the time when all milk teeth are there present in the mouth. So it's a good age to come for a checkup. Then at around 6 years of age, that is when you have the transition starting to happen.
Yeah.
Some milk teeth are beginning to fall, some new teeth are coming in the mouth. So that is again a 6 years of age is again to check if the development is going correctly. And then normally the advice is once every 6 months to 1 year is a recall visit is a good idea for children.
Okay, so is it really needed for every time when a teeth falls off? Is it needed to come and consult a dentist or a periodontist?
No. See, every time when the normal years is around 5.5, 6 years of age, when the tooth are falling in the correct age, the first teeth which start falling are the lower anterior teeth.
Yeah.
Then followed by the upper anterior teeth. So that is the time when the tooth is falling and the new one is coming. That is all right. That time there is no need for the parent to come and consult us.
Okay.
But if the child is having a very early tooth loss, that is at around 2.5 years of age or 3 years of age, or the child has fallen down and lost a tooth, that is the time to consult us is needed.
Okay, so doctor, now we'll be going for a short break. So dear viewers, we'll be going for a short break now. Please do not forget to like and share our Facebook page. Also like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel. We'll be back soon. Welcome back dear viewers. You're watching BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World. I'm Gauri here, and with us we have our Dr. Reema Sharma Dhar. So doctor, as we are talking about the children's tooth, we know that children loves chocolates and sweets.
Yes.
So how much does it affect their dental health?
See, I mean, sugars, all kind of refined foods and sugars, they do have an effect on the children's teeth. Any food that is sticky, that sticks to the teeth,
Okay.
will increase the chances of a child getting cavities.
Okay.
Having said that, it is not possible to say that the children should not have any chocolates,
Yeah.
but we have to, as parents, we have to regulate.
Okay.
Like if a child is having a bar of chocolate or a piece of chocolate, we have to tell the child immediately to go and rinse his mouth properly.
Okay.
If they are outside somewhere, have a sip of water.
Okay.
Water is the most beneficial thing that can be given to the child.
Okay.
It's not just chocolates, more than chocolates, even the Pepsi or the juices, they contain a large amount of sugar, and that is the hidden sugar, because we don't even realize how much of sugar is there present in the packet juices,
Yeah.
or a can of Pepsi, or a can of 7-Up. So all these have to be avoided as much as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
The third culprit, which a lot of parents and even children are unaware of, is chips or crisps, because they are sticky food, they are sticky carbohydrates. They will stick on to the tooth surfaces and people will not even realize it.
Yeah.
I mean, that the moment you have a chocolate, okay, the child will maybe drink a little bit of water. But if they are having a combination of one biscuit, one chip, one toffee, one piece of cake,
Okay.
all together, it is a lot of sugar,
Yeah.
and this is not good for the teeth.
Okay, so how do we take care of
See,
that?
the most important aspect that we can, apart from regular regular visits to a dentist, is the home care and healthy eating habits. The home care we mean is brushing twice a day. And the brushing should start for children as early as possible.
Okay.
Even for babies, even before the teeth erupt, we advise the parent to at least lift the lip of the child and clean the gums of a child at least once a day with a gauze piece.
Okay.
Or a small cotton handkerchief, put it around, clean cotton handkerchief, put it around your finger and just clean. A little child, when the child is around 9 months, 10 months, you have these finger brushes which are available in the supermarket.
Yeah.
That can be used to clean the mouth. There is no need for having a toothpaste at that point of time. Toothpaste you should start for a child only once the child is around 1.5 years, 15 months, 16 months. And that too initially only a grain size, like a grain of rice.
Yeah.
That amount of toothpaste is enough for a child.
Okay.
When the child is around 2.5 years of age, you can increase the toothpaste amount to a pea-sized toothpaste.
Okay.
And soft brush always. Initially, when the child is brushing, make sure it is always under supervision. Only children older than 3 should be allowed to brush without supervision, because at that point of time, there's a chance the child may try to brush vigorously and may actually injure the gums and all.
Okay.
And older children, definitely twice a brushing is must. Regular visits to a dentist, drink lots of water, avoid Pepsi, avoid fruit juices. Fruits, lot of fruits. Fruits are very good. All fruits, oranges, apples, grapes, mangoes, mandarins, all fruits are very, very good.
Okay.
But avoid, especially with children who have a lot of cavities, who already have an issue with dealing with caries. I always advise the parents to restrict juices.
Yeah, okay. So doctor, I've also seen most of the people's their teeth, it goes yellow. So how is the yellowing of teeth goes?
See, there are two parts of the yellowing of teeth. One is your natural. The milk teeth or the baby teeth which are there, they are white in color. They are much whiter in color as compared to our permanent teeth.
Yeah.
Our permanent teeth, when they come out, they are, instead of milk white, they are more ivory in color. Okay, cream in color, and gradually they become more, it's a part of natural growing process. Some people, older children especially, and adults who drink a lot of tea and coffee, they will have more staining of the teeth. And in older boys, teenage boys, smoking is often a cause of having stains in the teeth. So that is extrinsic stain that can be cleaned by bleaching process or by regular oral prophylaxis and everything. But the intrinsic color that is there, that is natural, part of the natural. So we have to identify what is causing it. In children, especially in teenage children, there is often the children refuse to brush properly because they are having mixed teeth. So there are some milk teeth are there, some permanent teeth are there, and the teeth are not always in a straight line. So they are not brushing properly. And because of that, the gums often bleed. That is part of a growing up or hormonal changes. The gums bleed at that point of time. So they don't brush properly. They are brushing mostly in air. It's like we call that air brushing, what the children are doing. So because of that, they also get a lot of plaque deposits on the teeth which make them appear yellow. If you notice that with your child, you have to bring them from a professional for a professional cleaning to the dentist.
So what about infants? What if they have yellowing of teeth? How is that treated?
Infants, normally if they are having yellowing, it could be a sign of some deposits which are occurring. So as I said, you have to lift the lip, clean the teeth. The moment the teeth erupt around 9 months of age, you have to start with finger brushing so that all the thing is cleaning. And also after 6 months of age, after a milk feed, it's a good idea to give a plain water feed to the baby.
Okay. So doctor, is it true that if the parents have a lot of cavities, that there are chances their kids also could get them?
Yes. See, it's cavities happen due to multiple reasons.
Okay.
One of the factors is the type of the teeth the child has. By type of the teeth, you means how the tooth is formed, what kind of internal structure that has. So that is all determined by our genes. So if our parents have a defective type of tooth, or they have some syndromes, then the children can inherit that. But more importantly, what determines the transmission is the direct transmission from the mother to child of the bacteria, and or between the father to child of the bacteria. There's a particular type of bacteria called Streptococcus mutans, which is the most important bacteria in causing cavities in children, and that is directly, if the parents have a very high count of this particular bacteria, it is found that younger children also have a high count of this bacteria. So apart from all your internal structure, your structure of teeth, the type of saliva you have, how strong your teeth are, that all you are inheriting from your parents. Apart from that, even the bacteria, which you don't directly inherit, but if the mother has a high bacterial count, and the mother is the first primary caregiver for the child, when the mother is feeding the child or when she is kissing the child, you can transmit the bacteria. So that is why it is very important, especially for mothers, to have a healthy mouth as well. When they are expecting, in the early months of pregnancy, in the middle trimester, it is always a good idea for the mothers to just go for a checkup to make sure that their mouth is healthy.
Okay, so also what could be the causes for the children to have gaps
in
their mouth?
Yeah. See, around milk teeth or the deciduous teeth, the children, if the gaps are present in the teeth, it's a good thing. Having gaps in the teeth when the child is 3 years, 4 years is a very good thing, because it means that there is sufficient space available for the next set of teeth or the permanent teeth which are coming. They will be easily accommodated. Also around 6-7 years of age or 7-8 years of age, there are gaps seen when there are few permanent teeth are there, few milk teeth are there. Having gaps is good at that point of time, because not all your permanent teeth have erupted. So these gaps will provide space for the permanent teeth when they are coming. But if the gaps are persisting even after 10-11 years of age, that means that there is a discrepancy in the size of the tooth and the size of the jaw. In that case, a correction is needed.
Okay, so what would be the advices that we could give to the new parents?
For the new parents, the biggest advice is, firstly, to be ensure that the child, there's this method which is called, once the teeth start erupting, it's called lift the lip. So basically, just make sure that once a week you are lifting the lip and ensuring that the tooth are fine. There are no spots seen on the tooth or no cavities are starting. Once the child is 1 year of age, we recommend an active weaning. Weaning is that you should stop feeding at night. At will feeding should be stopped by 1 year of age. Okay, and during the daytime the child can have as much milk as possible. But this practice of putting the baby to sleep with a bottle should be discontinued by the time 1.5 years of age. Never more than that. You have to gradually, and you cannot stop it overnight. It is a gradual process. Then to promote a healthy eating habits in the child. For that is more fruits, vegetables, milk, yogurt, cheese, nuts. All these food products are very, very good for the teeth as well, as apart from the general health of the child. They are also very good for the teeth. So that is what we recommend to the parents, that include more of this in the diet. I always tell the parents who ask is that the packet food which is available in the market, less of it. You cannot eliminate it totally. But less of it. Think about the food what parents used to eat when they were children. All those foods, all which our grandmothers have eaten or which we've grown up eating, they're all essentially healthier options as compared to even the sweets which we make at home at time of all the festivals and all. They are anyways more healthy than the candies which are available in the market. So that is my advice always. And regular visits, regular brushing, lots of water.
So thank you, doctor, so much for being here on the show with us. Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge.
Thank you, Gauri, and thank you to the BMC Health World Global Live for giving an opportunity to come here and speak about my subject, and I hope somebody benefits from it.
Yes, doctor. I think all of our viewers are going to take all the advices that you have given. Thanks a lot again. So dear viewers, that's it for today. You were watching BMC Global Live Al Hilal Health World. With us we had our Dr. Reema. Please do not forget to like and share our Facebook page. Also like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you and good night. This is me, Gauri, signing off.